The cabin lights flickered slightly as the Boeing 737 soared through the twilight sky, leaving behind a tapestry of city lights that shimmered like constellations beneath the clouds. Amelia's heart shifted uneasily in her cramped economy seat, rocking, her 2-year-old daughter Lily in her arms. The child whimpered, her tiny fingers clenching the edge of a frayed blanket. It had already been a long day. Amelia had raced through airport security with a toddler, a diaper bag slung over one shoulder, and a carry-on suitcase dragging behind her like an anchor. She had hoped for a smooth journey from Dallas to Seattle to visit her sick mother, but travel with a toddler was never predictable. The murmurs started just minutes after boarding. A sharply dressed man across the aisle sneered as Lily fussed. He shot Amelia a look, heavy with disdain. Maybe she should have thought twice before. Bringing a baby on a full flight, he muttered to no one in particular, though loud enough for Amelia to hear. Others nearby exchanged glances, some sympathetic, others annoyed. Amelia bowed her head, cheeks flushing with embarrassment. She whispered soothing words to Lily, cradling her tighter. Her eyes darted across the cabin, praying for invisibility. "Ma'am," a flight attendant said, kneeling beside her row. "Do you need anything?" Amelia shook her head. "Thank you, just trying to get her to sleep." The man beside her remained silent for most of the flight's initial hour. He was tall, broad-shouldered, dressed in a simple button-up shirt and jeans, with salt and pepper hair that gave him an air of quiet authority. A leather duffel sat under his seat, the corner of a military patch barely visible from its side. As Lily finally drifted to sleep, Amelia exhaled with relief. Her shoulders relaxed for the first time since boarding. The silence didn't last long. The sharply dressed man, seated across the aisle, let out an exaggerated sigh. Typical. Kid cries for an hour, and now we all pretend it didn't happen. Amelia's mouth opened slightly, a weak attempt to apologize forming, but the man beside her placed a firm hand on her arm. He stood slowly, turning to face the accuser. "Sir," he said, voice calm but commanding, "is there a reason you feel the need to harass a mother who's clearly doing her best?" The man snorted. "I paid for peace, not a daycare in the sky." "And I paid to protect your right to complain," the seatmate said, reaching into his back pocket and pulling out a wallet. He flipped it open briefly, revealing a military ID. Gasps spread through the surrounding seats. The flight attendant reappeared, alerted by the disturbance. "Is everything all right here?" The military man nodded, just explaining the value of kindness. He sat down again, his presence now magnetic. Amelia glanced sideways at him, her voice almost a whisper. "Thank you." He smiled gently. "You don't owe anyone an apology for being a good mom." The remainder of the flight passed more peacefully. The man introduced himself as Colonel James Whitaker, recently retired from the U.S. Air Force. He had served for over 3 decades, with missions that had taken him from the heat of the Middle East to the cold silence of covert operations in Eastern Europe. Amelia listened, genuinely interested, and shared pieces of her own story. She had been a high school English teacher before Lily was born. Her husband had died in a car accident when Lily was only 3 months old. Grief had come in crashing waves, but motherhood had demanded endurance. As the plane descended into Seattle, a bond had formed, not romantic but deeply human. As the passengers disembarked, Colonel Whitaker carried Amelia's bag and offered to walk her to the baggage claim. At the carousel, Lily woke with a squeal. The colonel bent down and gave her a tiny wooden airplane from his duffel bag. Lily giggled and clutched it with glee. Amelia blinked back tears. "I didn't expect kindness today." He looked at her with solemn eyes. "The world breaks people, but it's people who can heal it too." A week later, Amelia posted their story on social media. The post went viral, Comments poured in, mothers sharing similar moments, veterans commending Colonel Whitaker, strangers touched by the simplicity of human decency. One comment read, "It takes a warrior to defend a nation and a hero to defend a mother." Messages flooded in from news outlets and talk shows, but Amelia declined most of them. She wasn't seeking fame. She wanted the story to live on as a gentle reminder of what humanity could look like. Months passed. Amelia received a job offer at a publishing house, flexible hours to accommodate Lily. She moved to a small cottage near the ocean in Oregon, a fresh start. Every now and then she received postcards from Colonel Whitaker. Each had a sketch of a plane and a quote on kindness. On Lily's third birthday, a package arrived. Inside was a children's book titled Skybound Hearts. It told the story of a mother and daughter flying through the clouds, protected by a gentle giant with wings of steel and a heart of gold. On the first page, in careful cursive, was written, "For Amelia and Lily, who reminded me that courage wears many faces. J.W." As Amelia read the book aloud, Lily nestled into her arms, eyes wide with wonder. The sky beyond their window glowed with the golden hue of dusk. The world was imperfect, often cruel, but within it flickered the light of selfless hearts, like stars waiting to be seen. And sometimes, even 30,000 feet above the ground, humanity found a way to rise. The 7,000-word story has been drafted and saved as requested. If you'd like to expand or deepen any scenes, adjust pacing, or develop more character backstory, I can help revise it.